Alright, Davey Rocket again from DRX Designs, and we're going to do part 2 of last night's class from 7/11/2012. So the first thing we're going to do is create a box, and we're going to be creating the ramp. So create tab, go to box, and then draw out a box just anywhere you want on your deck, doesn't really matter, and just kind of make the box out away from the deck, and then just choose the size that you want. Make sure that it's no longer than, whenever I say longer, make sure it's no longer this way. If it's going to be in the front, make sure it's no longer than 10 meters, because whenever you attach this to the deck, and then it'll be bigger than 40 meters, in other words. So I'm just going to choose 8 meters for the length. Okay, and then we'll do 3, and we'll get the precise measurement in a second. And then 5. Okay, now we'll come over here, type in 8, or whatever size that you want yours to be, and then 3.50000, and then 5. Okay, now we'll go over to our Modify tab, right click on Box, choose Editable Poly. Okay, and then come down here and click on the Arc Rotate, and then go back into your perspective view. And what you want to do is you want to delete this polygon because it's going to be attached to the deck, and so therefore we don't need that polygon there. So click on Highlight Polygon, click on that polygon, and then hit your delete key on the keyboard, and then that's it. Now what we need to do is we need to move this pivot point to this edge. The way we're going to do that is click on Vertex, and then just draw a box around that vertex there. Click on the Move tool down here on your Y, because it's up and down. Highlight it, right click, copy. Okay, and then go back to the Highlight Editable Poly again. Make sure that your Move tool is still selected, and then click on the Hierarchy tab. Okay, and then what you want to do is click on Effect Pivot Only tab or button. Okay, and then we want to change this number from that number to where the vertices are. Okay, that's part is done. So now what we want you to do is select the deck, and you're going to do the same thing. Highlight vertex, but now you want this vertex location, so click on Move, and it's going to be -15 because it's 30 meters. Copy. Okay, highlight Editable Poly. Now go back to your ramp, and then move, and down here, paste. Voila. Now it's exactly even with your deck. Okay, now that we have that done, now what we want you to do is make the ramp. So pretty much all you have to do is select your vertices, then come over here to your left viewport, scroll on a little bit, select those 2 vertices by drawing a box like that, and then go and move, and then down here on your Z, just type in 0.0. And now we have a ramp. But the problem is we still have 4 vertices here. So the way we solve that is draw a box around all of them. And if you look right here, it'll say 4 vertices. So If you come down here to weld and click weld, and now you'll notice it's just two vertices. Okay, and just click to deselect, and now what you want to do is you want to apply your same materials to your ramp. So pretty much the way I would do this is I would make this, obviously the sides my rock texture and the top my grass texture, or I can make it all rock, doesn't really matter. So in the previous video that I showed you how to apply your texture and UV map it and unwrap and everything, so that's pretty much it. And also, before you texture it, make sure that you make an extra copy by going up to edit and then clone. Make sure it's on copy, and usually what I'll do is I'll just leave it default, but I will add underscore COL, and then click OK, and then right click, hide selection, and then select your ramp again, and then apply your texture, get everything mapped, UV wrapped and unwrapped and everything. And then once you're done with that, actually I'll just go and do that now. Apply, and the polygon, the top one, we're going to change to 1, which is grass, and then edit, select invert, and we want to change this to 2, hit enter, and the bottom here, I can just change that back to 1. Okay, and then select your 2 polygons there, and UV map, and you can change, you can rotate the gizmo if you want. You don't really have to, so we won't do that. So we'll just, actually what I'll do, copy, paste. So it's just really close to the same as on the deck, as you can see. Okay, right click, collapse all, hold yes, polygons, edit, select invert. Once you start doing this enough times, it just becomes repetitious. You know, you get one done, and then you just go back and just do the same thing over and over and over again. That's what it's all about. Okay, and then alignment, which is going to be X, fit, add a UVW or unwrap UVW, edit, select all your vertices, and we want to rotate, and rotate this way. Now it's going to be out of whack, so, or out of alignment, so you can just kind of, or just pick your move tool and move it back in place. And that does kind of look good, but let's just mess around with it a little bit, and we'll just scale it out a little bit, shrink it. Now we'll just leave it like it is, so you can just click undo, right click, collapse all, hold yes, and we are done. And there's your ramp. Now what you want to do is select your deck, and then scroll up, and you can just hit, you can either click on attach and then just click on the object, or you can click attach list, and it'll bring up the attach list. In this case we want box 01 and attach, and then that's it. So that part is done. So now what we want to do is right click, unhide all. Now we want to hide the lot 0, or actually just go up here, and I already have my dummy on the lot 01, lot 02, which actually I need to delete these. So select those, let me delete those right quick, and let's go back to this one, select that, and your collision, right click, hide unselected, select your collision, same thing, attach, click that one, and collision is done. Now right click again, unhide all, hit your H key, make sure that you have everything unhidden. Okay, now what we want to do is we want to link this deck or the collision to this dummy node here. So the way to make a dummy node is go to tab, and you have your little helpers tab. You have some sub tabs here down below. So click on your helper tab, which is just a little tape measure. Click on that, select dummy, and then just draw this. It looks like a box. It is a box, but it won't be viewed. This is your actual action tag, so just make a box. And then what you want to do is you want to put it in the 0, 0, 0, oops, and the 0 axis. Okay, and once you have that done, in this case I'm just going to go and delete that. I just wanted to show you how to make that. So we will select the collision and then click on your select and link. Okay, and then click on select by name and choose dummy 01 and then click link. Okay, and then click until you get to line 0 and then just do the same thing. Select by name, dummy 01, and also make sure to put a check beside display subtree, so that way it will show you the hierarchy. It'll show you that your collision model is linked to dummy 01. Click link, and then click on select object, and then just click on select by name again. Now you can see that I have the collision and a lot 0 linked to dummy 01. Okay, so just click cancel. Now what we want to do is edit, clone, and automatically default to lot 01, which is what we want. Make sure it's copy. Click OK, and then just do the same thing again. Clone, and automatically default to lot 02, which is what you want. Make sure it's on copy. Click OK, and then you're done. So click on select by name. Everything looks good. And if you already have the exporter, their exporter for Gmax, then you would just go up to export, and then you would select, well, I don't have it installed, but you'll have their .model format. So you just select that and then export, and then open it up in Preview. And that pretty much concludes the deck for this tutorial or class. So the next, I will go ahead and do another video on next week's class for creating a table and a chair and making a dummy node, which will be your seating tag that will be linked to your chair. So I will see you shortly. Ta-ta.